Hi everybody, hope you're doing well. This is the first episode of what I hope to be a series of Heroes of Might and Magic 2 Gold Edition. Heroes of Might and Magic 2 The Succession Wars was released in 1996 with an expansion pack, The Price of Loyalty, coming out a year later in 1997, making them both older than I am. The year after, they released Gold Edition, which included both the original and expansion, so that's what we'll be playing. I played this when I was younger with my older sister. I mostly was watching her play the game. I didn't really understand what was going on. Probably couldn't read by that time, honestly. But they've kept making these games up until most recently, the 7th installment, Heroes of Might and Magic 7. So hopefully we can get through, play this whole thing, and let's just start with the original campaign.
The troubles all began 3 years ago, with the passing of the old king, Lord Ironfist. The king left 2 sons. Roland was good, kindly, and honorable, while Archibald was not so good. Traditionally, the choice of the heir falls to the royal seer, but he died in a tragic boating accident. His successor's luck was no better, with Frederick falling out of a window, Robert slain by a dragon, and Johann dying of food poisoning. Archibald accused Roland of murdering the seers, and issued a proclamation against Roland. Fearing for his life, Roland fled the place for his castle in the west. With Roland gone, Archibald was able to influence the new royal seer's decision. The seer chose Archibald, and Archibald crowned himself king the next day. And so the war for succession began. Choose your lord.
So here we're faced with choose the evil Archibald or the good guy. I think it's pretty obvious.
Thank you for choosing to serve me. You will find I can be a very generous lord to vassals who remain faithful, which is more than I can say for the cowardly lords who refuse to take the oath from me. I am king, not Roland. No one can stand before me and refuse to serve. Go. I have allocated a sum of gold for the purpose of making an example of the lords closest to my castle. Crush them and report back to me by means of the magical amulet I have sent you.
Okay. So Scenario 1, First Blood. King Archibald requires you to defeat the 3 enemies in this region. They are not allied with one another, so they will spend most of their energy fighting amongst themselves. You will win when you own all of the enemy castles and there are no more heroes left to fight. So this is just murder people. And you can pick 2,000 gold, Mage's Ring, or a minor scroll. Not entirely sure what these do, so let's just go with the ring and head on in. You face 3 opponents in this scenario. Capture their castles and their heroes to prove your worthiness to Archibald. So basically, the way this game works, you start with usually 1 castle. And in this castle, you have various upgrades you can make. You can buy new heroes. And the most important part, create your armies. So here's the, what's it called? Graveyard? The excavation. So you'll pay 75 gold per skeleton. You get a new population every week, so you get new creatures every week. And let's buy the pyramid and get some mummies. So 4 mummies, 250 each, that'll be 1,000 gold. Stick them in my army. There's 6 different classes I suppose you can play. The Necromancer, obviously. The Barbarian, they deal with sorts of trolls and ogres and goblins and that sort of thing. The Sorceress is more of a fae sort of person, so she has druids and sprites and dwarves and unicorns, actually. The Warlock, the Wizard, the Knight is mostly just humans. and I feel like I might be missing one, but I'm not sure. So basically, this is all we can see right now, the area around our hero and around our town, our city, our castle. Here's a halfling. You can right click and see that there's lots of halflings. That's just how many there are, how many you'd have to fight if you were to engage them. And you basically go around picking up treasures, expanding your influence, and trying to, take over the other players. Here's your resources, so 1 castle, 0 town, gold, lumber, one of these is sulfur, crystals, or gems. So these chests are always either pick gold or experience, and experience you use to sort of upgrade your hero, give them different, not really abilities, but sorts of proficiencies. And this is a turn-based game, so once you can't do anything else, you hit end turn, everybody else goes, and then it's your turn again. You can build once per day. The statue increases your town's income by 250 per day. That's pretty important. You can build once per day, so you have to make it count. You have to decide what's the best thing for you and your empire, I suppose. So here we have +1 knowledge. You may learn either basic navigation or basic diplomacy. This increases your speed over water. I don't know if there's any water here. And diplomacy allows you to negotiate with monsters who are weaker than your group. Approximately 1/4 of the creatures may offer to join you. So that's pretty powerful, especially if you just want to pick up little groups of mobs along the way, assimilate them. You catch a leprechaun foolishly sleeping amidst a cluster of magic mushrooms. In exchange for his freedom, he guides you to a small pot filled with precious things. And there we just got 5 gems. Skull Pile increases production of skeletons by 8 per week, increases all creatures by 2 per week. So I like to get anything that would increase production in the first week. That way we can kind of have a, bumper crop of skeletons once the second week starts. Archery. Basic archery increases the damage done by range attacking creatures by 10%. Basic logistics increases your hero's movement points by 10%. So let's take pack of orcs, lots of goblins, several trolls. I'm always wary to attack something in the first week because I feel like I'll always just get destroyed. So we'll just wait a week. See. So that gave us a pretty decent view of what's around. Here's an artifact. And in addition to just picking up things you find along the way, there's mines. So here's a gems mine. You pick up the gems mine, you have control of it. Every turn you get X amount of gems. More experience. I usually take the experience. Maybe it's not a great strategy. I'm probably not very good at this game. But it's fun, nonetheless. There's an artifact there. So things like fountains and wells, they restore magic or morale or different things. So if you've not really been in a fight, there's not a lot of point going to those things. Fourth level spells produce 100 gold pieces per turn. Let's go with the spells. Yeah, we never did look at what that ring does. Here's where you keep all your artifacts. So view Mage's Ring of Power increases your spell power by 2. So we got 5. That's pretty strong. So in combat and out of combat, there's different spells you can cast, which either buff your own troops or debuff the enemies or just deal straight damage. So if we get a lot of good spells for this guy, maybe we can do some damage just through him. You can only cast one spell per round of combat though. I've been forgetting to build things, haven't I? That's fine. It's the first scenario, we should be fine. So here you see astrologers proclaim Week of the Unicorn, unicorn growth +5, all dwellings increase population. So something like this, every week you get a different week of the animal or week of whatever. So a sorceress would be pretty happy right now if she had any unicorns because she'd get 5 extra unicorns this week. And every week, your dwellings reset. So every week, see, I just bought these zombies. We'll go in and see recruit zombie. There's 8 now, so I can buy more. I can buy a skeleton. I can go in and get the zombies or the mummies. And let's see, what should we do? I want the mausoleum, so we need the mage skill. The mausoleum makes liches, which I think is the necromancer's only ranged unit, so that's pretty important. The mansion makes vampires, which is pretty rad. I don't think they're the most helpful thing, but there's... Oh, let's get that mine. And here's a lumber mill, basically, or sawmill, the lumber version of a mine. Pick that up, 2 per day. A pack of dwarves. See, I don't have faith that I'll be able to destroy them. But every turn I wait, everybody else is getting stronger. It's kind of a gamble, and I'm not good at gambling. Let's pick that up. Get the liches. When I was younger, the liches used to be one of my favorite. I don't know why. I think just their attack animation, I think I love.